here with Bender.
And I'm here with Sydney, and this is BS Astrology.
What's up, y'all? This is episode 27, and we are going to be talking about August 12th through the 18th, 2025.
Yep.
And we've been gone for a few weeks.
Been on hiatus.
Yeah, we've had a lot of life has happened.
Life's been lifing, for sure.
But we're back, baby.
Yeah. We're definitely back to stay, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, so how have you been?
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been medium.
Yeah.
I'm schmedium.
So we're bad to medium over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
The world is absolutely going apeshit.
Yep. Things are going crazy.
And so, yeah, I'm glad that we're back talking after all of the major aspects went down.
Yep. Glad we just passed over that. We were you guys are on your own for that.
I think we had to. Things happen.
Things happen. I just love how now that all of the planets have shifted into new signs, every single tradition or system that we relied on, absolutely nothing is working the way it's supposed to at this point. Nothing.
Yeah. We're definitely at a systemic breakdown of various systems, what we thought that we could expect, everything around legality, what we think is fair, what is not fair. Everything about Saturn being in Aries is just really so wild to me.
Yeah.
Everything about authority and structure and government is just absolutely unhinged right now and acting so far outside of what we would consider to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's how do you rein in things that are just so out of pocket?
It's almost like you don't want to rein it in because you want them to be so out of pocket that they'll just devour themselves. That's kind of where I'm at with this.
Yeah.
Because
cool.
So that's Lamont's input.
Yeah. He agrees.
Yeah. So that's where we are with everything.
Yeah. Let's go over some of the basic notes though.
Yep.
So Mercury is now direct. He's stationed today as we're talking, which if you would have seen the first two times that we tried to start this, you would have thought, yeah, something's up with Mercury.
Yeah, that tracks.
We are filming this on Monday, August 11th, starting around 1 p.m. While the moon is void. So Mercury is now direct. It won't move off of that fourth degree until about the 15th. So, communication becomes far more poignant and pregnant and almost important, the things that we're learning right now. And it could even be the things that we were pondering over, rethinking.
Yeah.
Now it's in this crystallized phase where it's yes, this.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole Mercury retrograde has been everything bubbling to the surface. We're now at the surface, but it's still at this it's a very hot point right now.
Yeah. Mars is still opposing Saturn, the Saturn-Neptune almost perfect conjunction within 3 degrees. So tensions are still high. And
it sucks.
And if you've been paying attention to the news at all, we know this, right? We have watched various forms of violence and protest happening simultaneously. I think that Mercury opposite Pluto was very much everything having to do with the media team Al Jazeera in Palestine, unfortunately and horrifically. So there's a lot. The kite configuration with Mars, Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune is still active for a couple more days. So again, I think this is it feels almost like a whirlwind of change that is almost clicking into place. We have to remember too that the Pluto Saturn situation is not perfect. The Pluto Neptune isn't quite perfect quite yet. It's almost like we're getting a taste or an opportunity before it really goes and says, this is what it is. This is what all these systemic changes are about. This is what the new technology and communication and information is about.
And we should be paying attention to that because we've been having, it's been an ongoing conversation where, we're seeing the current U.S. administration doing little things, and it's starting to build up to more and more and more. and we're just kind of sitting back and letting it happen.
Yeah.
But this is the taste we're getting. This is the taste.
As of today, this morning, Hair Cheeto, the felon, announced martial law, which is very Saturn and Aries.
It is, isn't it?
It is just martial law right there.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with that, especially since these aspects are forming.
And also important to note that in his speech where he announced that he was enacting martial law in DC, he like distinctly, poignantly blamed the homeless population. And so like that's his reason for doing that. So yeah, it's pretty bleak. Pretty bleak.
Yeah, it's a wild time. Let's see. We'll get a last quarter moon this week. Jupiter is contra-parallel Pluto all week, which is something I noticed in like kind of my aftercare of looking at everything, which I think is really interesting because it really does talk about like these various like plutonic secretive things around law like coming up to light for us to deal with, where we're like, oh, they're trying to change this law and they're trying to change this law and they're trying to like scooch this over. There was another thing that was talking about how they have formally asked for the Supreme Court to re-rule on same-sex marriage.
Yep.
That also happened today. So I think that we're going to see more of that kind of come out to light. The various things that have been kind of passed and locked into place are now undergoing like a more like insidious attack. We're just coming off of retrograde Saturn, sextile Uranus and Gemini. I mean, this definitely speaks to the sudden changes in military action in her.
Yep, for sure. It's feeling a little on the nose right now.
Yeah, structural breakthroughs, structural breakdowns. And we're watching a structural breakthrough and breakdown in the United States in ways that we have no idea how they're really going to shake out. And today we also get, for the August 11th, for Monday, the day that we're recording, we get Venus conjunct Jupiter, which I really don't feel like it's doing jack shit.
Yeah. Well, it's also in Cancer, so I feel like it also just has the ability to just be like a fascist asshole. Like, this is,
Yeah, everything around like homeland security.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's almost like a bad time for a Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer to happen. Like it's supposed to be nice, but who is it nice for?
And it's also happening during a void moon. So it's like as if nothing new can become of this what should be a beautiful thing happening in people's charts and people's lives. It's interesting too because it's so hyped. It's been so hyped by various astrologers, and like hopefully there is a part of your chart that is opening up and becoming more in the flow and an intuitive, connective kind of moment there. But we're also very aware that the world is not bad, like not great, and like we're all kind of collectively crashing out.
Yeah. I would say the nice thing to get from a Venus-Jupiter conjunction right now is it's a really good time to be focusing on who's got your back, right? Who makes you feel safe? Where are your safe places? That's very Cancerian, right? I think that it's a really, really poignant time for us to be thinking about how are we going to stay safe?
Yeah.
So
I rarely ever post on Facebook because I mean it's Facebook, right? But I was like, people have to stop engaging with fascists and bigots online. Like so much of what we're grappling with are like people busying themselves with arguing with people who have no desire to change, no desire to learn, no desire to open their minds. And so why are we wasting our time doing that when instead we can be organizing and paying attention to not just the good things in our life, but also the things that need to actually be taken care of. We're wasting our time over here arguing with bot farms.
It's true. And the amount of AI that
don't even get me started on AI. We'll be on
that'll
for
be
an hour.
Oh, and did you hear about Instagram wanting to track our location?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, I did.
It's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot. So
with all that, why don't we jump into the week?
Okay. August 12th is Tuesday. That is Mars's day. Mars is in Libra, a sign that he does not like because he does not want to be cooperative.
No.
He's in the sign of his detriment. He doesn't have all the resources to just kind of act in a direct forward motion, making choices for himself sort of way. Now it's all about like agreements and
wants to ask what people think before he does it.
Taking in multiple sides, I think the good benefit of Mars being in Libra is like there is a directive to find some sort of peace.
Yeah.
It's like fighting for peace, which in some ways I'm like, I wonder if that has to do with all of the festivals, the music festivals that's what they're calling them now.
They're calling them music festivals
instead of protests.
So that actually that's really smart. Yeah.
So all of the music festivals that are popping up everywhere, and I think that is probably a part of the Pluto and Aquarius aspecting the Mars and Libra, that trine of like collective, seeking out this sort of like justice and balance and peace. And so hopefully, I think
there's just a war going on between the two sides of the scale, right? It's like whose version of justice is going to win out here. Because that's the thing, is there's no definitive definition or there's no right opinion about what a lawful justice system is. Theoretically.
It certainly doesn't involve killing absolutely everybody.
Definitely not. Okay, so there can be a wrong kind of justice system. So and so with all of that, with Mars and Libra, we're actually starting off Tuesday with Moon entering Mars's sign of Aries. And with this, the void of course that we are currently sitting in right now, that's going to end tomorrow at about 3:32 a.m.
And so as soon as Mars goes into, not Mars, sorry.
Mars.
That was very Martian.
That was very Martian.
As soon as the moon goes into Aries, every single time immediately meets up with Saturn and Neptune. It's like, hey, what are we trying to, like, what structures are we, doing? I'm feeling a bit like spicy about this. And like also a little bit bleak because Saturn and Moon, they don't really jive. They don't like each other.
They're just sad.
And then, with that conjunction also to Neptune that'll happen, it's really trying to figure out like the dream and the vision. It's working aspects, but I don't think they necessarily feel super good. Moon, Neptune, sure.
And I think it's a lot of like, yes, it's trying to figure out where to initiate, but again, it's Neptune. So I really think it's more like, we know we need to start somewhere, but where, with like lots of question marks over our heads.
Especially with the reality check of like meeting up with Saturn. You're like, oh, this is what we have to work with. You don't have the resources because you're in Aries. Oh, geez.
And Aries, is a good sign for jumping into the unknown. But Aries ideally would like a target to be barreling toward, right? And I think there's no target right now. Like, you're literally just barreling into the ether. No one really knows what's coming next.
We do get some little like exciting news or exciting ideas with the moon sextile Uranus and Gemini, which is going to happen right in between that conjunction with Saturn and Neptune. And then there's going to be a sextile to Pluto as well at 7:14 a.m., which it has the ability, I think, to kind of want to get into the depth of it, to get into the meat of the matter. You're feeling pretty passionately about these things. It's air and fire. Like, this is all about ideas and communication.
I'd agree with that. I'd say that Tuesday it's definitely a good day to start things, like all things considered. Again, nothing is super clear at the moment, but we do have a Martian moon that is just immediately hitting all of these outer planets. And so, I do think that there is a lot of like, even if we're not clearly seeing the vision, there's a desire to move toward understanding what that vision is.
I feel like because of the aspects of this day too, because they're pretty Ptolemaic all through, like it is really like rocking and rolling, getting stuff done, pushing forward, into the wild unknown, taking the leap, taking the first step.
I think you just got to be okay with being a little blindfolded for it. Like, you don't know what you're doing quite, but you do still have to do it.
Definitely be careful of anger impulses or emotional outbursts around 9:30 a.m. And you'll have the ability to maybe really speak on what you're feeling later in the day, or just after that at 10:59 with the moon trine Mercury in Leo.
I would say that moon Mars opposition at 9:30ish. Definitely look out for arguments in your relationships or how you're relating to people. But like you said, it's moon trine Mercury in Leo comes a couple hours after. Mercury doesn't love being in Leo, but it could be a good moment to passionately express what you need to express. It could be a good moment to stand on your soapbox a little bit and express what you need to express.
And considering that, Mercury is still pretty stationed. I mean, he is direct now, but it's like now I can finally speak my, my story. I can tell my story.
Exactly. And again, like we talked about at the beginning, Mercury's stationing direct today, but it's really moving slowly back toward that forward motion. So we are going to be sitting in like the spice of the pivot.
I definitely think that Tuesday is spicy. Like we have to remember that Mercury is just still very, very stationary. Like he just went. So he has a lot. I think he just has a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say.
He's a lot on his mind. He's, done a lot of thinking about
wherever Leo is in your chart, whatever house Leo's in your chart, I would definitely be paying attention to what's been going on with those matters for the last 3 weeks. Because this is the week that I think that Mercury's fun. I think like the top's going to blow off for whatever Mercury's got to say, because Leo is dramatic. So, and what's crazy about Tuesday is after 11 a.m. with that moon trine Mercury, it is quiet. The rest of the day. There's a little sesqui square around noon between the moon and sun. Just a little cranky, which would make sense because you've probably been like hoofing it all morning.
And also because it's a spicy moon. Moon in Aries is just, it's reactive. It's impulsive. It thinks, or it moves quickly.
So the best way you're going to get the most out of your Tuesday, start early. Get as much as you can done on the first half of the day, and then hopefully that energy will just carry you through the rest of the day. But the rest of the day doesn't have a lot going on.
I agree.
So,
August 13th, Wednesday is Mercury's day. Mercury still hasn't moved a lot.
Nope, not much.
Not much.
And we are starting with the sun at a critical fixed degree. Critical fixed degree is 21 degrees.
Yes.
Which is definitely...
For the fixed.
And it's, especially with it being fixed, this feels a little bit crisisy.
I mean, I definitely think this has to do with our felon in office. Chief and felon. I think that there's something there that like has to do with that in particular, because especially whenever we come to critical degrees, it's not a world point, right? It's different, but like there's something that I think we're all kind of collectively learning about like his behaviors, and if we're not already fully aware. But there's something about, the soul of our nation that is, we're at a precipice.
And I think that this, critical degree sun, you're right. It's going to be like shining a light on, he's not even trying to hide it. And I think that's part of it, right? Is he's becoming more brazen. And the people and the systems and the organizations that are actually behind Trump, because as we know, he's not like working in a vacuum here. There's actually a lot of people who have kind of propped him up in this position. I think we're starting to see that all come to the surface as well. So sun's at a critical fixed degree of 21 degrees. The sun is still in Leo. So again, like it's a spicy moment for Leo. There's a lot of egos flying right now.
It's there's definitely a lot of like ego response, my story, it's my way or the highway. I mean, we're already kind of watching that, so it's not surprising at all. So morning time, we're gonna wake up with some squares. The moon is going to square Jupiter in Cancer and Venus in Cancer, so there's like, try not to overdo it, try not to overindulge in whatever you're feeling, which will cause some sort of overreaction in some sort of way. This certainly can cause you to spend too much on your bagel.
Definitely. Yeah, especially in Cancer, it's going to be like, I deserve something nice. It's like a self-care thing.
Like, I need to be soothed. Yeah. It's definitely like, I need to be soothed, and I'm willing to go to whatever lengths, especially Moon and Aries is just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, Moon and Aries contacting.
Yeah.
Venus in Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer. It's definitely like, I'm a self-care queen, and really it might be like intense escapism or something,
Yeah, it's just definitely pushing you to take some sort of action, which I think has to do with the pleasures in life, whatever your pleasures or vices really are. Jupiter can be very much a vice planet.
And I think this can also cause some discord at home or in your relationships, right? Like, this could be a moment, especially with Leo. This could definitely be a moment of like, if you're feeling at odds or in conflict with somebody, it could very much be like, I need to solve this problem now. I need you to answer for your actions, kind of thing. And the other person might not be ready to be there yet.
Yeah.
And you roaring at them isn't necessarily going to fix things. So.
No, not at all.
So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind, where are you acting from ego?
Yeah.
Where are you overindulging?
A bit of a cranky, I think more of an anxious kind of energy is going to come across at 7:06 a.m. So what it feels like is like with the squares to Jupiter and Venus, it's like I ate too much sugar and now I'm vibrating. Hi, baby. Do you want to come up here? You want to hang out? Okay, perfect. And so then it's like the sugar crash comes and you're literally vibrating because you've taken in too much.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that little moment feels like. And then we're kind of hanging out with this like free floating anxiety and crankiness and spiciness until about 4 p.m. we get the moon trine the sun.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice. I think there's an understanding of like what we need to do to go forward.
Yeah. And understanding what we need to do to go forward. I think it could also just be like a need to release the stress. I always like that with like nice moon sun contacts. It definitely just feels like my outer world and my inner world just need some peace
are
together
flowing
now. Yeah.
Oh my God. He's doing what he can. And the void, of course, will begin with that aspect. And then we do get Venus in Cancer semi-square Uranus and Gemini. And I think that there's like some sort of like frustration around like new ideas that have come into like our idea of value or relationships or like, it's almost, to me, it kind of feels like somebody goes like, I want an open relationship. And the person's like,
it's like, fuck.
What?
What?
Everything's changed. So, that semi-square is like a new idea is kind of forming around relationships, around value, around money, but it's not quite there. And so we don't really quite know what it is. So try not to
I think with semi-squares, it can even be like somebody says something so in passing, but you could read into it.
Yeah, it just kind of like niggles the back of your
like it's not like they're like I feel like it would have to be like a more Ptolemaic moment for them to be like, I want an open relationship. But it could be like you guys are like sitting with a group of friends and your partner happens to say like, I've always wondered what it would be like to be in an open relationship, and all of a sudden you're like, what?
You're like,
yeah, exactly.
And then you put it in the back of your bonnet.
Yep.
As if we all wore bonnets still. Okay, so let's.
Well, a lot of us do.
It's fair.
Yeah. And you do.
Sometimes.
I do. Yeah. We're moving on to Thursday, August 14th.
Which is Jupiter's day. Jupiter's happy as a clam in Cancer.
Yes.
Still co-present with Venus.
Yes. So that all bodes well for us today. Early in the morning, about 1:25 a.m., we are going to have a moon conjunction with Chiron in Aries. Chiron is retrograde. There is definitely a wisdom and understanding past wounds and where those past wounds came from. But I think in Aries in particular, it definitely gives the drive to actually do something, to actually synthesize those wounds or actually heal from those wounds. Very action-oriented kind of healing. But it is going to be in the middle of the night. Maybe you'll just be processing this in your dreams. You'll probably be waking up with the remnants of that energy.
Yep. And then the moon goes into Taurus.
And it loves Taurus. And with a really nice Jupiter day, maybe this won't be such a bad day. Let's keep reading.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about the moon entering Taurus is that it is answering to that Venus in Cancer. Yes. There's like this really beautiful mutual reception there. So I think kind of emotionally hopefully we're feeling a little bit more centered, a little bit more grounded, a little bit more capable, and maybe it kind of cools us down too, right? Like from being the hot-headed, action-oriented moon in Aries. Are you done with me, or are you just sitting down? What are we doing?
Look what you did.
What's our choices? Yeah, every time. But for all things considered, that is a really, really lovely aspect, and we're just gonna go with it. We do have at 9:56 a.m. we get the moon square retrograde Pluto, which
is owie.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
For a moon in Taurus square Pluto, it's like I am staying here.
Yep.
I'm staying right here.
Yeah.
But like remembering that whenever the moon comes up and meets with Pluto in one of these aspects, Pluto's like, you got to get rid of some of this. Like you got to lighten the load in some sort of way. Like whatever ways that you thought that like this safety and security thing was working out for you, it's clearly not.
Yeah. And Taurus just doesn't want to acknowledge that. Taurus doesn't love that.
No.
It's also, we're entering a first quarter square with that.
Yeah. So it's a crisis.
It's a crisis.
Yeah. It's a crisis of awareness. So it's like, oh, I know I have to give this up.
Which it just feels so Taurus. It feels like the shadow side of Taurus is crisis of awareness.
Yeah. I mean,
because Taurus doesn't want to move. Taurus is very much the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, and that's real though.
Yeah.
As a Taurus. That's like the realest thing though, because it's like if it's not broke and it feels nice and it's not hurting anybody else, why are you telling me I have to move? However, we do live in a society where that kind of attitude is how we got into fascism.
That's true. Yep.
So I think we all need to renegotiate intuitively and emotionally with what our idea of comfort is, and to really actually figure out if it is impacting other people, which it is. Like there's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
the thing.
Yeah, that is the thing. I was just about to say something and it left my mind.
We get a quincunx from the moon to Mars, both ruled by that Venus in Cancer. So I think that frustration or anger has to do with our sense of comfort and safety.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It's the whole concept in trauma when we're talking about how, or if you've heard it discussed, this idea that sometimes something that is painful or not good for us actually feels more comfortable to us if we grew up or if we were raised or conditioned in volatile or uncomfortable or harmful situations. Harmful situations might actually feel more comfortable to us. And I think that very much can be Taurus coming into contact with Pluto and all of this.
I had a brooding parent, so it was really easy for me to be in relationships with brooding people, and then getting in a relationship with someone who isn't. I'm like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like, am I okay? Like, nothing wrong, but that feels wrong.
Yeah. Things that are good for you can feel really bad if you're not used to things that are good for you. And I think that's very, very moon and Taurus squaring off with Pluto.
Yeah, you have to drop emotional stories about certain things. There for sure.
But anyway, so but where did you got all the way down to the
quincunx Mars? So that can be some sort of adjustment that we have to make around like how we're getting things done, and then right after that, I mean, it's like bam bam moon square Mercury. So this afternoon I think feels like whoa, like I need to take some sort of action. It's not the action I thought I was going to take. Maybe it's because you decided to or were forced to literally eliminate some sort of emotional thought or habit. And you're like, okay, I gotta go and do this. And then the moon square Mercury, it's like you just feel out of sorts.
You feel out of sorts. Yeah. I think there could be a lot of ruminating happening, like second guess, like you have to make this choice, but you're second guessing it. It's kind of worrying in your mind, right? That's very, when moon is having a tough time with Mercury, that's very much the vibe is you start processing mentally and just kind of getting stuck on this track.
Yeah. And I think the fixity in the signs, right? The Taurus and Leo, it's like comfort versus pride.
Yeah. Yeah.
And absolutely. Like those things don't often jive. Like you have to make a choice, or you have to make some sort of shift to find some sort of like peace there.
Yep.
And that's in the last quarter square, so it's a crisis of consciousness.
Definitely.
Like, so definitely you're feeling some sort of way about it. 7:04 p.m. we get Mercury and Leo sextile Mars and Libra. You want to say something about that?
Oh, you were waiting for me to say something
about
it? Sorry, I wasn't thinking.
You have that in your chart, don't you? You have Mercury.
I do.
You have the Mercury Mars sextile.
I do.
And it's partile. It's super tight. It's like the tightest aspect in your chart.
It is the tightest aspect in my chart. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. It's you caught me off guard. I genuinely, my brain was thinking about something else entirely. And all of a sudden I was like, it just got really quiet.
I mean, I think there's something about communicating in such a way that I think it's charming.
It's very charming. It's great for motivating.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like the guy who can like get up on the soapbox and can say, like, what do we want? And everybody's like, revolution! When do we want it? Now!
Yeah.
So it's nice for that. Especially with Leo and Libra specifically.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's this very there's like an aesthetic to it, right? Yeah. Like, this is a good moment to like really, really sweet talk somebody. It's flirtatious. Right. That's another big part of it is flirtation. But it's going to be at 7:04 p.m. It's a nice sextile. It's gentle, but definitely if they're, especially like with the last couple of days that we're coming off of, where maybe you spoke at a turn or you were speaking out your ass, like you were letting Leo kind of make an ass out of you. This is a nice one where you can say, okay, I've collected my thoughts and I've taken notes, and this is what I'm trying to communicate. So this could be a really good time to clarify what you're trying to communicate and say it in a way that's going to land well with people.
Yeah.
I would say with Leo and Libra, maybe it's going to be a little too sugar-coated. I mean, like, that's the thing. We're going to be tempted to sugarcoat.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's like also like really being able to communicate your intentions on how you're going to move. Yeah. Like how you're going to take some sort of action, whether that is like in your relationships or, at a public protest, like where do we want it now? That kind of thing. Like being able to have a little bit more gravitas or a little bit more passion in your speech. I wouldn't necessarily say like weight or authority, but like passion. Yeah. This is like passionate expression of ideas and of our stories. So and
for the record, it's in my chart, but I don't have Mars in Libra. I have Mars in Gemini. So it's a little different.
She's chattier. It's still in the communication sign.
Yeah, definitely still chatty.
Okay. So that's Thursday.
And that brings us to Friday, August 15th.
It's Venus's day.
It is Venus's day.
And she's still feeling pretty good. We have to consider that, her ruler, the moon, is still in Taurus. Yeah. For this day, which we love. There's this like mutual reception that hopefully is kind of anchoring us into a better state of mind or emotional health. Yep. Yeah. It's helping. Yeah. Not early in the morning, mid-morning, we get the moon in Taurus sextile Jupiter in Cancer. Which is cozy. It's so cozy. It's such a pleasant aspect. And I think it's really a balm to the hellish nightmare that is living in our reality right now. Yeah. It would be a good morning to just like sleep in or like stay in with a cutie. Yeah. This would be a good moment to do that. Unfortunately, we do have some like slightly uncomfortable things happening through the morning. We have a couple of semi-squares happening between like 9 and 11 a.m. Yeah, just Saturn and Neptune. And Neptune. It's almost depression. You know what I see? Because this happens to me all the time, is like you let yourself relax a little bit, but and then know that there's and so like you're sitting there and you're having a really nice day and time, and in the back of your head you're kind of like, I shouldn't be doing this. It's like the other shoe's gonna drop kind of feeling. So that's very much the semi-square. It doesn't necessarily mean the other shoe is gonna drop, and that anxiety can be there, especially since it's all just moon contact. So they're going to be fleeting, passing.
but they're just there to remind you that you're not allowed to totally relax.
and we're not. Like, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that even if you're trying to grapple with the horrors of the outside,
right?
You know, and you set yourself up for a really pleasant day, it's really hard if you have a soul, you have a heart, to not let those things kind of niggle in the background, even if you're like, I'm gonna give myself 2 hours to like check out and just do my own thing, like invariably, which is what happens to me, where I like walk into work and I'm like, cool, I'm not checking social media, I'm just doing these things, and then I'm like, oh, what blew up?
Yeah. No, for real.
What fresh horror am I going to open when I open social media today?
And it's just like, it's just like, it'll just hit you where all of a sudden you're like, oh, but I still live in this reality, you know? And like that anxiety kind of like, like vomits up for a second.
Yeah. So, you know, the morning is a little bit, we don't love it.
Yeah.
But then we get into the afternoon. We have 116 moon sextile Venus. This is, again, very pleasant. They're a mutual reception.
And this is what's important, is these are the major Ptolemaic aspects, and that anxiety we're talking about is minor. Yeah. So I do think that this is anxiety that can be overcome.
Yeah. And it's quick.
Yeah.
Because the moon does move quick.
Yep. So I would still say that Friday is a good day to get as much as Friday morning is a good day to try to get some peace with yourself, and that moon sextile Venus, I think, is supportive of that.
Yeah. And then we'll get the moon trine the south node. So it's sextile the south node and trine the north node, which is like, you know, really trying to push us into that north node of Pisces thing.
It's moon trine the south node.
Oh, sorry, moon trine the south node. So there's some sort of facilitating around release.
Yep.
Releasing old stories, something from the past, right? While also helping us or supporting us and pointing ourselves to the future,
right?
Which is hopefully a world that is far more compassionate and collectively wonderful.
I think it could happen someday.
I
think,
I mean,
maybe for like our grandchildren.
But I mean, I'm not having kids for a reason.
I meant like theoretical grandchildren. We're all each other's children and grandchildren and stuff. But anyway.
But there's a fated facilitation here, right? Where we're like making maybe intuitive choices or decisions around what we need to let go of in order to push us forward.
Yeah. Moon trine the south node. It's going to be sextiling the north node. And again, this is nice. It's not unpleasant. It's gentle. But there is always a little bit of a destabilization factor with the nodes, right? Even with the pleasant ones.
Yeah.
So I would say it's productive, it's gentle, it's nice, but I do think there is some growth orientation there. So maybe it could even just be like hearkening back to whatever anxieties you were feeling that morning. It could very much be a moment of like, fuck that anxiety, I'm just going to do something about it. You know, even if that just means like, I'm going to find a better place of peace in my head with this, right? So, and then 514, we have another, like we have a little sesqui square between Moon and Mars, so like a little uncomfy.
Again, it has to do with it's engirdled, so they both have the same rulers at Venus and Cancer, which is really trying to find value in, you know, comfort and home and
our sense of family.
Yeah. You know, our essential need to. It's also survival, but.
And nurture, right?
Nurture.
Right? I think those are all key factors of survival, especially for like, we're such a social species, right? Nurture and family is survival.
Yeah.
That is literally how we evolved to this point.
But the sesqui square is frustrating, certainly. And so there's something about Venusian things that is very frustrating for us in that moment.
Money.
Yeah, something's coming up. And then 10-12, we get that last quarter square moon to the sun in Leo. So this is the crisis in consciousness phase. This is, we're aware of what is wrong and we need to fix it somehow.
Yep.
We're feeling cranky.
But keep in mind, the void, of course, begins right at this time. So you don't get to fix it yet.
Yeah. Whenever I see like squares for the void, of course, to begin, I'm like, oh, we just kind of get like, it's like being left at when you're seeing like a therapist and like they open the wound and then they're like, and our time is up.
Yeah. See you next week.
Like, No. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think
which therapists shouldn't do that.
No, they shouldn't.
That's shitty. That's shitty therapy work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But again, it's, it can be themes of comfort and survival versus like, shining and creativity and childlike wonder and loyalty and feeling warm-hearted. Like these are, the moon in Taurus really wants the creature comforts, and the sun in Leo is like, I want to be noticed. I want to be recognized. I want to shine for who I am. And I want to play. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And moon in Taurus is like, play, snack. Yeah. Snack in bed. Yeah. So, yeah, I would say that there's like a lot of processing happening on Friday. Yeah, I agree. And it'll feel nice toward the beginning of the day, and then it's going to go a little bit. Yeah, I think Friday is good news, bad news bears. Yeah, good news, bad news bears. I think you can end up being up in your head a lot. Yeah, just roll with the punches a little bit. Yeah. And also just being aware of like maybe what's left on your plate. Yeah. With that last quarter square, considering that, we're trying to wrap up this cycle so that we can get to a new moon, right? We're very much like the moon is losing light and we're in the waning phase. Things are, sun's going down, big guy. Yeah. Yeah. It's time to wrap it up. And that square is like, it's not wrapped up. It's like, oh no, it's not wrapped up. I wasn't done yet. Yeah. Now, the void of course begins around 10-12 p.m. Fortunately, it's really just going to be an overnight thing. But I do think that last quarter square is really a part of like the whole day. Yes. Yeah. And I was going to say that, best processing, anything productive you're trying to do, I think is going to be the first half of the day. I think you need to give yourself permission to rest at the end of the day and try to get a good night's sleep. Yeah. Because void of course is going to end by 9 a.m. the next day. All right. So August 16th, which is Saturday. Saturn's Day. And the moon is out of bounds. Yeah, we got the moon out of bounds for the next couple of days. So emotions are great. They're big. They're a little bit out of control. Yeah. We're feeling a lot. And also we're going to get the moon entering Gemini, which is, the need to verbally process and to overthink and the habit of intellectualizing one's feelings. And as soon as it goes into Gemini, it's going to come and meet up with Uranus. It's like, I got a new idea. And that's exactly how Gemini says it too. It's like, I got this new idea. Yeah. Isn't this neat? Yeah. Right? So there's like I don't want to say spicy, but there's like an electric quality to that conjunction. There's also like a intuition, right? Because Uranus can bring like an intuitive hit. Yes. I think with Gemini hitting Uranus, it's like the energy of like a 5-year-old gaining consciousness. They say like right around that time is when you start having those like flashes of consciousness and being like, oh my God, I'm like a whole person. That feels like Gemini and Uranus, just being like, oh shit, like I'm here, I'm a person. I dig it. So yeah. Void of course ends when moon enters Gemini. Yep. And then like an hour and a half later, it's making that sextile to Uranus. And it's going to conjunct Uranus, but conjunct Uranus, it's going to sextile Saturn and sextile. Yeah. So it's like, feeling a bit more like maybe resolute or resolved. And then it gets like this new idea. And then it's like, oh yeah, I have this new vision. And now I'm going to facilitate that. So it does feel like there's the ability to get some things done today. Yeah. The biggest aspect of the day is at around noon. Venus in Cancer is going to sextile the South Node. Yep. So, there's some news here about Venusian things, women, comfort, needs. Our passions, money, our partnerships, those kinds of things. And there's like, again, because of that sextile to the South Node, the nodes are about fated events. So it could be that something Venusian comes up and allows us to like literally let something go. Yep. And with Cancer, it's specifically like letting go of what we thought made us feel safe, like stepping out of it feels like a really nice, gentle
invitation to step out of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then we'll get the moon trine retrograde Pluto, which allows us to go kind of deeper into our emotional processes, the ability to kind of like purge, let go of, to get to the bottom of. There's definitely an intuitive, because you can kind of see or feel everything, like all of the nooks and crannies of a thing. There is definitely something that seems a little bit more curious or inquisitive about the moon in Gemini. Trine Pluto, it's like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, whether I like it or not. And there's an intensity to it as well. Like, this is a more passionate aspect for the moon, especially the moon in Gemini is like just a curious, silly, informational.
It's an info whore. Let's be real.
Yeah.
She's an info whore.
But like with that trine to Pluto, it's like really like maybe honed in and focused, a little bit more focused on the things that it's interested in discovering in that moment.
Yeah. And then we've got a little semi-square to Venus, so maybe we'll discover some things that make us a little uncomfy. That's okay.
Yep.
And then 7:33 p.m. we have Moon making a sextile to Mercury.
And right after that, a moon trine Mars. So sextile Mercury, moon trine Mars.
And this is all very like air communication. We got that Mercury and Leo, but man, like I just love Leo and Gemini together. They really are just like
ideas.
the two problematic friends who just enable each other in like really fun ways.
Ideas, passions, play. There's some drama to it. Definitely. I wouldn't necessarily think that whatever is coming up in these moments is the truth of the matter.
No. We're not trying to get to the truth. We're just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Right. This could be a good evening this is all going to be like 7:30, 7:47. It's going to be a Saturday. This is actually really good socializing energy.
It is.
This could be a good bitch and stitch time. It could be a good time to be like openly processing with friends and just kind of letting the info exchange flow. As long as we're not taking it too seriously.
Yeah. I am interested in I'm wondering if the moon in Gemini, as it comes through Gemini, it kind of wakes up the last vestiges of whatever that kite formation was.
Yeah.
Because everything is just about out of orb, but it's like, and one more thing. Yeah.
I would love it if Gemini was the one to do that though, because it's like you said, like just one more thing, like some information that we needed. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it does feel a little more social in the evening. Definitely able to kind of get things done. Conversations are flowing. You're on the dance floor. Maybe try to live it up a little bit because the world is absolutely insane. The one thing that I am just kind of reminded to note too is because the moon is out of bounds, when it goes into that trine with Mars and Libra, there could be a little bit of like, you want to fight me, bro?
Yeah. Get a little drunk. You're at the bar. You're dancing with your friends.
Yeah, it feels a little like I'm gonna play fight, and then you end up in a fight. Yeah. So maybe be a little bit cautious.
You try to make a stupid joke about one of your friends, and your friend is like, "Why would you say that?"
And now,
now you're fighting in the bathroom.
Yeah,
there's
definitely there could be a little bit of drama to it all. So try to stay on the side of like pleasantries and play and joy.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Sunday,
August 17th. Sunday is the sun's day.
It is the sun's day. The moon is still out of bounds. The day starts out pretty. It's actually like there's nothing huge through most of the day. It's a lot of minor aspects.
It's almost entirely minor aspects.
Yeah, until like late afternoon. Around 7 a.m., we start with like a cute little moon quintile to the sun, which is cute and nice. It can be a nice little creative push to start the day. And that's also going to go right into a moon quintile to Saturn. So again, we're going to be waking up with that energy. I would say it's not the worst energy to wake up with.
Yeah.
We don't love Moon and Saturn together always, but quintiles are cute. I like them.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like... kind of like emotional mastery, like, what's going on and you're like willing to kind of work with like, this is my lot and this is what it is. And all of the aspects being pretty minor for the day until we get the moon square the nodes really kind of speaks to, I feel like this day more than any other day is kind of like, it is what you make of it.
Yeah.
If you want to have a bad day, that's your fault. And if you want to have a good day, you can also do that too, because there's all of these quintiles by quintiles. It's like really creative, like literally go and be the creator of your
own destiny,
your reality in this day for today. But we do get the moon square the nodes.
Yep.
And that's always like an emotional choice point. I can go this way or I can go that way.
And I think because it's happening so much later in the day, I think a lot of the choices that you make earlier in the day are really going to determine how that nodal square feels.
Yeah.
Right? If you did decide to like grab the day by the balls on this Sunday morning, it could be like a really nice flash of insight, especially with Gemini, with the Gemini square. Gemini doesn't want things to get too
and choose to release, intense. Right? Because the moon going into, I mean, it's as it goes forward, it's going into that south node. So like if you have a choice around something that you have maybe been holding on to emotionally, or you need to choose a this or that, choose on the air of releasing something.
Right.
Releasing a story that you've told yourself, Moon and Gemini.
Yeah. And then we have lots of other little things happening throughout the evening until about 10:32 p.m. And then we have another Mercury and Leo sexiling Mars and Libra. Yeah. So again, it could be, I think that just based on what we're talking about with Sunday, this is a good moment to like write your own story, like good time to like journal and really like write down dreamscape a little bit with this. Just thinking about how you do want to move forward.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think Sunday's a good day. I do think that you can make this day whatever you want. I do think it's a good day to, you don't necessarily have to make it a rest day.
Clean your house.
Yeah.
Take stock.
Yeah. Like take stock. That's a good way to put it. It's a good day to take stock.
Moon square the nodes, right? Like that's a choice point. So it's like take stock in the things that are like in your life, the things that you want to create, the ways that you want to move forward. We just came out of that last quarter square a couple of days before that. Like, and now we can like emotionally process through how we're speaking and like using language and, intellectualizing our feelings in a way. Hey, don't fall though. I love you. That would allow us to like almost like speak truth into like power with that Mercury and Leo sextile Mars. And
I like the way you said that. Yeah. Because these are minor aspects throughout most of the day. So this isn't necessarily the day where like, I mean, it depends on how this is affecting your chart, but I'm not necessarily seeing anything where like a huge breakthrough or anything is going to happen. But I think it's more like, like I want my mental health to be more clear for the goals that I have this week. I'm going to clean my house and I'm going to get things all set for the week. And that's like a really powerful act of self-love, right? And it's a really powerful act of setting intention. I think that's a really good thing it's good vibes for Sunday.
Yeah. And also when I think about Mercury and Leo sextile, that Mars and Libra, it's like ritual, like a physical ritual that involves using your words, right? Yeah. Whether that is like
singing
or like some sort of soliloquy, you like literally saying your intentions or like
mantras.
Speaking in mantras or, beautiful prose or, something like that in order for you to kind of really set how you want the week to go forward for you. But, I mean, Mercury Mars can also be a little bit argumentative.
It can be.
But,
but it's like with Mars and Libra, it's going to be so passive aggressive.
I mean, it could be, yeah. I mean, and also just like the drama is there, right?
Yeah.
So like use the drama for good and not for evil.
Yeah. Again, Mercury is like slowly starting to move forward again. So
yeah,
I think anytime we're seeing these Mercury Mars contacts, it is a good time to speak your truth and start moving toward that more honest place.
Yeah. Okay. August 18th, that's Monday. It's the moon's day.
And the moon is still out of bounds.
It's still out of bounds. It's going to be in Gemini for part of the day. Early in the morning, though, 5 a.m., it is going to sextile that sun in Leo, which is a nice, pleasant aspect, and it's going to start the void of course.
Right.
So we have a morning that is void of course.
Yep.
So no starting or initiating brand new action at this time, just wrapping up other things. And that's kind of, it feels like, you check your emails, take note of like what you need to take action on. Maybe you continue a conversation that you were having like the week before.
Don't initiate. Even if you find an email, even if you get an email and you're like, oh my God, I should respond to this, you should still wait until after the morning. Just till after the morning.
Just wait until noon.
Yep. Lots of smaller things. We do have a moon sextile to Chiron, which is nice.
Yeah. Brings a sensitivity, right? And intuitiveness and empathy. Being able to like feel what other people are feeling.
Yeah. Again, it's Chiron's still in Aries, so I do think that there's a lot of self-compassion that can come from that.
I like that.
Yeah, and that's energy you're waking up with, which is good.
Yeah.
And then 12:05 p.m. Moon enters Cancer. So at home with Cancer, and the void of course ends here.
But the moon is still out of bounds.
Yes. Yeah. Void of course ends. Moon is still out of bounds though.
Big feelings still.
Big feeling, especially because the rest of the day is a little squirrely.
Yeah.
We've got the moon squaring off with Saturn and Neptune.
Yep.
And we'll make a quincunx with Pluto.
Yeah. So there's definitely like a reality check, right? Maybe around the things that you've tried to establish for yourself, the ways you have made choices and moving. Now you have this emotional reality check. This is the lot I have to deal with. And then there's the disillusionment that comes with Moon square Neptune.
Yep. And again, since that's between Cancer and Aries, it's just like really being pushed out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to rely on the systems that have made you feel safe and comfortable up to this point.
Yeah.
This is a bad case of the Mondays.
Yeah, I don't like this Monday at all.
No, it's yucky.
That quincunx to retrograde Pluto coming in the afternoon, and there's no other aspects after 3:30.
Yeah, literally the last aspect of the day is a quincunx to Pluto,
and that's just anxiety.
Yeah, it's trash.
It's just anxiety. You don't feel safe. You don't feel sound. You don't feel secure.
No, you can feel insecure about your place in community or in society, or just generally feeling unsafe about society, which would be very understandable right now. And I think just like if you try to get yourself in a comfortable place, you're going to be reminded that none of us get to really feel comfortable right now. We're just not in that place.
And there's a sudden emotional adjustment that has to come with this quincunx to Pluto, where it's like, the powers that be, or the larger institutions of power, or literally society, or the groups and organizations that we show up in, collectively, is pushing us to make some sort of emotional break, emotional change. We have to make some sort of adjustment around like what our ideas of safety and security are.
Yep.
So let it happen. Try not to lean into the anxiety. Instead, just allow yourself to make the adjustment.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully with that cardinal moon, that is more capable, because that Pluto in Aquarius isn't not moving.
No,
it's not budging.
Yeah. So I would say overall,
you're fine.
Overarching thoughts about this week. There's definitely a chance to have a good weekend. There's some social aspects happening on the weekend. Moon's going to be in playful, silly little clown Gemini, which is nice. But definitely, fortunately, this isn't a crazy week. I don't see anything that's like.
I mean, I think we're very much grappling with or figuring out, processing all of the madness that is happening in the week before.
Yeah, I agree. Sun is going to be at a critical degree earlier in the week.
Yeah. I think there's some revealing to be done.
And I also just think like a reassessment of like the paths that we're all individually on.
Yeah.
Definitely a question of if we're on the right path or not.
Yeah. I mean, in so many ways, I think we're, especially with all of these like sextiles, for the big planets, there's a fundamental large scale shift that we will be undergoing for the next number of years.
Yeah.
And so I find, or I guess like I am thinking about, if you aren't willing to roll with the punches are going to just punch you.
Yeah.
And so like when I think about all of the people that like reminisce over the past, like, or like how things used to be, like we don't get to do that anymore.
No.
Like we're past the precipice of being able to retain or save or redo any of the things that were before.
Yeah. And I think it's that harsh reality of, it might have seemed great at the time, but it's important to know that everything that was happening then, those were the building blocks that have led us to now. Right. So it might have seemed great at the time. Like everybody always likes to talk about how like the 90s was like the peak of like human society. And really there was like a lot of fucked up shit happening in the 90s that led to now.
That we don't,
right?
Yeah, in so many ways we didn't get to see it, right? Because it wasn't
happening right in front of us.
Like it wasn't televised. We didn't have the technology. We had to be literally paying attention to everything that's happening.
Yeah. So when everybody says the 90s were so great, it's really that we were all just still really ignorant.
Yeah. You know? I mean, but there were a lot of really amazing things about the 90s. Like the music was better.
Yeah. The culture was the bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot, like I would say like 80% of the culture was the bomb, right? Because we're still, there's everything having to do with racism and colonialism that's happening at other places. But like in terms of like art, fashion, music. I
think they said that like that compared to now, I don't remember the exact figure, but there was like distinctly more Black people on TV in the 90s than there are now.
I also just think about connection. Like I think for us like millennials and Gen Xers, right? Like the thing that we mostly lament is phones weren't out all the time.
Right.
And now we're all tied to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to go to parties and like literally put my purse down in my friend's room and then
that was it.
That was it.
Night. Yep.
That was it.
And isn't it weird that like in these weird ways we're more connected than we ever have been before, and we're getting so much more information, and then in other ways we are the most disconnected from each other.
Which is exactly why AI psychosis is
happening like very quickly too. Yeah. It's like the stories are just popping up out of nowhere now.
Yeah.
So
try to find ways to connect with people.
Yeah. Get off your phone.
As we record this on my phone.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, making intentional, right? Like Moon Square the Nose, intentional shifts in ways to like
we all need to like collectively make the choice to be on our phones less. We're all like, oh man, it used to be so much better. I'm like, we could still do that. We could still just fucking disengage with social media and the propaganda systems that are kind of keeping us addicted to it, right?
And the news is still there.
Yeah. What'd you say?
And the news.
The news is still there.
And like, where else are we going to find our news right now, right? Because you can't turn on the TV and actually get the news anymore, which is like
super weird. Super weird. Yeah. And we could go on and on about this because like now we've moved on to streaming, but now streaming's gotten too expensive and now everybody's talking about going back to cable. So maybe we will go back.
Our cable has cable.
Yeah, our cable has cable. It's just it's crazy. Nothing makes sense anymore. So anyway, just a lot of processing this week. Try to be gentle with yourself. You might get some flashes of insight that may come easily or not. But I think that's the big thing. I think the biggest thing is Mercury stationing direct this week.
And he's not going to clear his shadow until I think it's like the 25th or the 26th. So just know if you're still cleaning up the stuff that you were dealing with in, you know, like conversation, communication, technology, like all of that, there's still a few days yet, but hopefully all of those things have gotten easier since Mercury is stationed and gone direct again.
Yeah. So good luck. We'll see you next week for the beginning of Virgo season.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.